When someone the caliber of Jim Moore recruits you to help found a promising new prep school, you don't ask a lot of questions.
I got in a train in Grand Central Station at 9:30 in the evening. I'm sitting in the train wondering where I'm going, got a box, a suitcase, and a coat over my shoulder. And at 5:30 the next afternoon, I get out of a train in LaPorte, Indiana. I believe I'm the only person ever to get out of a passenger train in LaPorte, Indiana. Coming from New York City, I look for a cab. No one has any idea what I'm talking about. Cabs are the front parts of semis. That's the only kind of cabs they have here, no cabs. I have not spoken to Mr. Moore. That wasn't the age of cell phones. We've written back and forth a lot, and the place is La Lumiere School, because I took a lot of French, and it's La Lumiere School. So I ask people, do you know how I would get to La Lumiere School? And they look at me like I'm nuts. And I'm thinking, oh great, this is a whole con job. Score one for Mr. Moore. Finally, I walk over to the sheriff's office, and I said, I'm looking for a place, La Lumiere School, and it's supposed to be a brand new school starting, and the sheriff was very nice and says to someone, yeah, you know what he's talking about? And one of the guys in the office goes, yeah, I think they're starting a school out at the Lumiere estate. And the sheriff says, well, I know where that is. I'll take you out there. And I show up, and Mr. Moore's out there, watching Mrs. Moore looking at him. Here comes this sheriff's car up the driveway. It's got one of his faculty members in it, you know. Not arrested, but just being delivered. And so it started off sort of well. I wasn't sure if there was a job or not, but you have, when you know the people, it's easier to have faith. I feel comfortable with Mr. Moore coming out. I know the level of excellence he sought. And I thought if we can get it going, I'd like to be part of that.
When we look at the effect, the remarkable reach, the influence, and the good that's being done in the world by the young men and women who converged on this one place for part of their lives, how can you argue that anything short of extraordinary happens here, in a place where the first 50 years may have produced the largest number of the most influential leaders in this country's history, from one of the smallest schools of its kind in America. Where most places change over time, facilities, programs and curriculum, faces, to stay relevant in an ever-changing world, at an extraordinary place like this, one thing never changes: the culture. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. The culture never changes. Character, scholarship, faith.
You find a need and fill it. Some of us felt there was a need. We lived in an area where there wasn't really any first-class secondary school. History has proven that there was a need, and in many respects, the school has grown far beyond any of our expectations.
It's still here and thriving. There's still, to this day, families involved in La Lumiere today that were involved in La Lumiere 50 years ago.
Jim Moore, who was the founding headmaster, had a dream and a vision once he connected with us, and he was very persistent and determined to achieve it. Today, Michael Kennedy, who had a La Lumiere experience, remarkable family, and a great leader, and he's pushed it even further.
I couldn't imagine what they were thinking then of how they saw the school when it turned 50. And yet that's what guides my actions daily, to fulfill the mission and the vision that they had for the place.
The people that were here, that were my instructors and friends and mentors, are people I still talk to, right? I mean, I still keep in touch with these people for a reason. A, because I want to. Emotionally, I love the people. They help form me.
Each student is encouraged to reach their own unique potential.
A boy in my class used to sort of tease me a little. There was a teacher here who was phenomenal. He was talking one day in class about what he thought people would be good at in the future. And this boy said to him, "How about Meg? What do you think she could do?" And he turned to him and just very succinctly said, "Anything she wants."
Lumiere is a very special place. It's not a snooty place. It's not an elitist place where you only have kids of a certain class. I think that's what's good about the diversity.
I never saw myself as someone who could do anything, and he did, and that meant something to me and affected how I looked at myself.
Is something special that I've been armed with, that I've been provided, that I've been given. Not only the education, but the education of the whole person, the whole experience of being here in the community.
That's the kind of empowerment that I got from this school.
It had dramatic impact on me.
The key to fulfilling the mission and the vision for the next 50 years is maintaining that culture that we've established.
I would say to a freshman, what you don't realize today is how this school will define you for the rest of your life.
It creates a special person because it is a special place.
The mission statement, the reason for starting the place, still seems to be valid.
That mission hasn't changed in 50 years, and it won't change in another 50 years.
I'm a little jealous of the people come here in 50 more years because it's just going to be better and better every year.
This is an experience that I've never thought I would get here at a school in the woods in the middle of Northwest Indiana.
How far our Chief Justice got, that's pretty inspiring that he came here, and that tells us that you can do anything that you want.
And there was a feeling that among those of us who were involved in the founding that we needed a different approach to secondary education.
Godspeed, John Glenn. You hold these truths to be self-evident.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official.
The Eagle has landed.
I shall resign the presidency effective
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
2 hours ago, Allied air forces began an attack on military targets in Iraq.
The South Tower has apparently collapsed. That is about as frightening a scene as you will.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, tonight is your answer.
The sweetest part of La Lumiere is the part that changes year after year after year. Students from across the country and today from around the world. But the best part of La Lumiere, the part that makes this place so unique, is the part that's never changed, not even after 50 years. Character, scholarship, and faith. It's why we're here. A prep school where the real preparation is for life. 50 years from now, rest assured that La Lumiere will have changed a lot. But for 3 things: character, scholarship, and faith.
When an alum comes back to our campus just to say hi, or they're in the area, and they step foot back on our campus, it doesn't matter what kind of career they had here, it validates what we do. They say, I care about this place, I love this place, and I wanted to come back.